Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Bull Traders here. It is Sunday, March 8th, and it's been a pretty crazy week. And just looking at the futures here for the Monday open, it's looking pretty ugly right now. If you're a bull, if you happen to be short, it's looking pretty good. It's kind of an interesting close on Friday. Let's take a look here. I'm just looking at the futures right now. CNBC, you can see your Nasdaq's down quite a bit. Russell, S&P, and Dow all significantly down. But that doesn't mean it'll be down tomorrow morning. I mean, you never know. The Fed could come in and make some crazy announcement before the market open. We could be up 1,000 points. So we'll just see what happens. But you can see here what happened Friday. We had this rally last hour or so. Really strong rally. To me, that was a short covering rally. There was a lot of people that were maybe short through the week and just covering some of their shorts there for the close. But it just doesn't look, I just didn't feel like this was some kind of a bottom that was being put in, just some shorts maybe covering. So let's take a quick look at the groups, see what happened on the week. So utilities are up, safety trade, healthcare, consumer goods, some of the, but overall in the week it didn't look like, it doesn't look as bad as it the volatility was. Up 1,100 points, down the same amount, another up day 1,100 points, just crazy volatility. So if you're not an active trader, if you're not a day trader, this is not a great environment to be stepping into and chasing the stocks around right now. If you've got some dry powder, in terms of cash, I'd probably be inclined to keep it there. I'm doing that. So you can see here, let's take a look at some of the indexes. Transports actually looked like they had put in a reversal day, but based on futures, I think we're going to be heading lower tomorrow. Again, let's look at this from a monthly perspective just quickly. So we got a lot more room to the downside here. If there's really more selling, we could come back down here to kind of this level, this 8,000 level. So we got another 900 points if we're going to go there. You can see here on this monthly chart, we're still, well, I'm still not up there, but we're not very far through the month here. And the treasuries, look at this, is just fallen off a cliff, and we're under 1% on the 10-year. Historic lows. I don't think it's ever been this low. It's got to be ready for a bounce here soon. This, under 10 on the RSI is just super oversold, and I would be looking for a bounce at some point here, probably next week. So TLT has been on a real tear. That's the way to play the bond yields. So when bond yields drop, this goes up. And alternatively, if you want to look at playing that on a reversal, TBT, which has just got taken out to the woodshed, should be looking like it might want to head higher if you're an active trader here. Could be a way to play that, but there's just nothing in the monthly where it's ever been this low before. So anyway, yeah, kind of interesting times. I can't say that I can remember a time where we've had market action like this. So here's the Dow on Friday. You can see we finished up on the day, almost finished in the green. And let's just see here. Okay, I threw this chart up because I thought it would be kind of an interesting chart to look at. Now, this is what I'm calling the SARS chart, S-A-R-A. So if people that were around 2003, they remember the SARS scare. It was kind of the same thing. It was a respiratory thing. Everyone was scared to travel. I remember being on a commercial flight once where I was the only passenger. It was kind of creepy, actually, but yeah, no. So I'm just looking at this chart and just sort of seeing if we can draw some comparisons. So if you want to look here, here's right when the SARS thing started to the proverbial stuff started to hit the fan on SARS. And then you can see here we had significant sell-off. We had some bottoming action, which it looked like we were going to put in a low. We broke lower again, popped back up, back to resistance and down. But this took over the course of, let's call it 2 months. And we're probably into the thing now about 2 months, but I still think in this virus is probably a bit of a worse situation. But this kind of shows you what happens. Eventually, we get past the whole, virus thing, gets under control. They get a vaccine or whatever, and then we get this reversal. So you can see here. Here's the high. It took us about 6 months. We got back to the high. I think it's going to take us a little bit longer this time. Just remember, interest rates are incredibly low. Fed wants people putting their money in stocks. So I think eventually this is going to play out pretty much, probably very similar to the way this is looking. It may be a longer time frame, but if you take a longer term view, maybe instead of 6 months, this might be 9 months to a year. But I'm thinking that eventually this is going to start to make a bottom and then come back up. It is a tough bottom to trade here. Although it did on the daily, it did give you a nice reversing candle right here. There's a reversing candle here. We popped back up and then actually rejected, sold off lower, and then another reversal candle there. So again, I'm just trying to put some things into perspective here. It's a terrible situation. A lot of people are dying. This is not great. As I've said a number of times before, we're nowhere near the ninth inning. We're in the third or the fourth inning of this game, and there's going to be more negative headlines, negative news coming out. But eventually, we're going to get through this, like we've gotten through every other event like this, and we will come back. So try to keep the emotions in check, keep cool, do your analysis, and that's it. Buy when people are fearful, and there's some real fear coming into the market now. So just the only thing is you just don't want to be too early on this, on your buying, because you could be buying and there may be some more downside, which I think there is going to be, obviously, unless something changes on between now and Monday's open. It's going to be another down day. So you can see here on the weekly, the Dow actually did manage to eke out a gain, and you can see here the incredible amount of volatility we've had prior week, or the 2 weeks ago, and now this week. Kind of an inside day there. But who knows? We may end up on the week. Let's take a look at the IWM again. Came back up, kind of a constructive candle. So but it's not surprising. I think part of the down, the futures being down so much, is also related to oil. Oil is really taking a kicking tonight, just because OPEC couldn't come to any kind of consensus and Russia kind of walked out of the meeting. So oil is down, I think, it's definitely under 40. I think it's in the low 30s now. It's just taking a beating in the futures markets right now. So, that's not going to bode well for some of the oil producers, especially in the Permian Basin. But on the other hand, if it means lower gas prices, consumers are going to like that. So, it's a double-edged sword on that one. Here's the IWM on the weekly. You can see we closed down here. We're off the 200-day moving average, but not by much. I think we'll break it tomorrow. Futures stay the same. The Qs came back up, couldn't come back up to finish the day. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly, we still finished up on the week, despite the crazy market action. But I think we may be heading back down here. We'll see what happens at the open. I don't want to speculate too much about what's going to happen at the open, because obviously, there could be announcements by the Fed that might impact that. Same deal on the SPY. We managed to finish up on the week, but kind of a bit of a interesting doji candle indecision. big volume on all these, big volume day down here, big volume day back up. So I think we're in for another big volume week here. Dollar's just got crushed. Again, interest rates diving, people taking money out of the dollar. So you would think that would be good for gold, and gold is up. I think it's up $20 in right now. Futures, the VIX, VIX is going to be up near the high again on in the morning here if we don't see a sudden reversal. So let's take a look at the only thing I've really got active is LK, and I'm just going to hang on to that. It may drop a bit here, but I'm going to hang on to it. So I'm just looking at some biotechs that have been in play with the virus, the only ones that are actually performing fairly well. Codex here, I'm kind of watching this one. Just if it can break above, this sort of, I'm going to call it the 15 level. If it can break above there, it might push back up to 20. So that'll be something to watch. iBio again, if it can break above this high, sort of 270 level, could push higher. MNLO had a big day, filled this gap here. I don't want to be chasing it up here, but if it looks like if it pulls back to sort of just under 4, might be worth a buy, and then or 370, somewhere between $4 and 370 level could be a buy on this pullback. Might find some support here. MNLO. mRNA, certainly it looks good. This is all these virus plays. So I'd be watching for this one. Might even actually break out. Looks like it's going to break out here. Certainly $30 will be a breakout on this. And you'd have to watch 30.75 to see if it could get through this high here. So that could be an interesting play. OPGNs seems to be kind of holding in there. Again, it's holding $3. I don't really like that one that much. TNXP it is holding $1, but not keen on that one either. TOAC, nice breakout here, pullback, another break to a high. So I'm just keeping an eye on that one. I mean, if we do get a pullback, it might be better a day trade. So I'll be watching that in the morning. And if it starts to break out, might be a good play as well. What else? And what else have I got on watch here? Baidu, I'm just again just picking some stocks out that are going to do well when things are going to turn around. Gold is up. I think up $20. Let's go back here. Yeah, gold is up $20, so it's going to gap up. I'm not sure how Nugget's going to do, because Nugget, the gold miners in this weird market, sometimes gold's up and the people are just selling the gold miners, and they're down. So it's kind of weird that way. This KWeb seems to be hanging in there, but again, I'd keep an eye on it. It's trading in a bit of a range right now, sort of 48 to 51. It's probably going to open up lower on Monday. LK, again, we'll see what happens here. It's just chopping in a range with all this volatility. It doesn't seem to be doing much. People are just hanging on to it. M could be, again, one of those trades you make when you think things are bottoming. So this is the one chart I'm looking at here. OILD is going to be gapping up significantly here. This is a short on crude, and crude's down, like I said, about, I think it's down like 30% or something like that. Let's see what, let's take a quick look here. Yeah, look at this. It's down like 19% almost. This is just April contracts, 33.53, down 7 3/4 of a dollar. That is a massive move. So I know this OILD, which is the pro short. Wish I'd have taken that one long because it's just going to be. I have no idea where this is going to be open. If it's probably going to be open up like 20% above this level. So 55.60, call it 560. So that'll be. It's probably going to open up around 34. I don't know. It's really extended though. That's the problem. Italy's really taking it on the chin here with the viruses. People, if you're watching that, people know. So I was looking at Ferrari because I was thinking Ferrari's probably going to be, obviously an Italian company, probably going to be hit. So I'm going to watch that in the morning. It's probably going to make my watch list for stocks. And, it's got a level down here at 147. Maybe got a level here at 150. What was the low here? The low here on this day was 149.30. So I'm going to see where it opens up, but I think it's, based on what's going on in Italy right now, I think they're going to sell it, anything related to Italy, and this could be a decent short down to sort of the 147 level. If you wanted an idea on something to short, let's just take a real high level view. Yeah, you see there's a whole lot of downside. Here's 143 on a monthly 20 moving average. Let's look at the weekly quickly. Yeah, 145 here is sort of a level. Let's take a look at that. 145.44 is a level here. It's kind of what's this level here? High 148.60. Open 145.23. Yeah, I think 145 it actually could go to before it bounces. Anyway, that was like I said, I think Race is going to get sold. The semiconductors trying to hang in here, but they're going to get sold here on Monday. If we don't see a big bounce in the futures space, I think is right now is kind of losing its luster, attractiveness. This is a stock I think that again this team stock is one that it's kind of held in there quite well despite the volatility. And again, I think this is a stock that you could look at holding if it really gets going here. The markets turn around at some point. And yeah, TNA just again small caps probably heading lower. And the TVIX over 200 on Friday. I think we're easily going back there. Again, if the market stays the way it is, I think we're easily going back there Monday morning. Again, you never know. The government, the Fed, could take out the bazooka before the market open and make some announcements about who knows what they're going to do. Maybe they'll start buying stocks, something crazy like that. But if they come out with something that gets people excited, we could end up in the green. But I don't know exactly, what's going to happen between now and then. So anyway, interesting times, people. Just keep your cool. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Just analyze everything. Just know that you never want to waste a good crisis, and we're starting into a crisis. You saw this thing I put up, this chart I put up when we went through the SARS thing, and the market will come back. So here's my book, How to Swing Trade. Again, if you haven't checked it out, it's on Amazon, and we will hopefully see you all in the room, the day trading room, on Monday morning. Start the pre-market show live on YouTube at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and then we'll be trading when the market opens at 9:30. And it should be an entertaining week. I have no doubt about that. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. And again, hopefully we'll see you in the room tomorrow. If not, just keep your cool and keep it green.